Hey folks, if you're following the news, you've probably heard that President Joe Biden is launching an investigation. He's calling for the intelligence community to launch an investigation into the origins of the coronavirus, origins of COVID-19. He is reaching out to China. He's asking China to provide data, to provide information. He's asking the intelligence community to look into the Chinese claims that this virus started because of human exposure to an animal carried virus. He's asking for information from the laboratory in Wuhan. If this sounds eerily similar to something that came out of Donald Trump's administration, it's because it is. Donald Trump said very, very similar things, that this virus came from China. And I want to believe it's Secretary Pompeo, former Secretary Pompeo, actually launched an investigation along those lines. So as I'm hearing this news today about Joe Biden and thinking about Donald Trump saying exactly the same things last year and asking myself, why is it that I am taking Joe Biden's decision and Joe Biden's words today differently than I took Donald Trump's words last year? I come to, I think, an important lesson. We need to always be careful with our words. Our words, when we speak them, must always be seen as valuable and important, precious. The world around us, when we speak, should know that what we are uttering, what we are communicating, is valuable. That's where Trump went wrong. He never stopped talking. He never stopped sharing his opinions. He never stopped sharing his thoughts. He never stopped condemning people. He never stopped praising himself or his chosen ones. He was continuously communicating every thought that popped into his brain. He was continuously stirring the pot. He was continuously ruffling feathers. So when he did have something to say, when he did say something that perhaps had some value, many of us had tuned him out. I get emails all the time from, better be careful as I say this, I get emails all the time from somebody. Won't say who. But I have grown deaf to them. So that when I see them pop up in my inbox, I just assume it's more event advertising. Telling me about what's going on, telling me about things that are happening that I don't care anything about, telling me about events that are taking place that mean nothing to me, that have no relevancy in my life, and I just erase them. I just erase them. I just click, delete. It's not going to mean anything to me. Because every 2 days I get one of these emails and they have never meant anything to me. So after 5 or 6 years, I'm just used to them not meaning anything to me and I erase them. I'm numb to them. And then a couple of weeks ago, I get an email from somebody. Hey, how come you didn't respond to the request that came through on such and such a day through such and such a person? I honestly didn't read the email. And I explained why. It hasn't changed anything, but I did explain why. But that danger exists when we continuously talk, when we are continuously communicating things that aren't relevant to the world. And I say that as a person who makes videos 2 or 3 times a day for YouTube, for a YouTube audience, for my YouTube congregation. It terrifies me that you will go deaf to my voice. And so I work really hard to offer relevant and timely videos so that they'll mean something. I try my best to make sure that the words that I use are for the right reasons. That the topics I pick will matter. Now, if you search through the Bible, Google search it. What does the Bible say about talking too much? What does the Bible say about communicating? One of the common threads, oddly enough, in the Bible is what it says about the power of our words. James goes on and on about the power of our tongue. He compares it to the rudder of a ship, this tiny little piece of a ship, and yet it steers the entire vessel. He says our tongue, this tiny little piece of our body, leads our body. Proverbs, from start to finish, is filled with places where it says things about the importance of using your words properly. Jesus talks about the power of our words. To paraphrase St. Ignatius of Loyola, what he says is, if your words aren't about God or God's work, they're not worth uttering. They're not worth saying. Save them. That's a little harsh given the fact that it's, playoff hockey season. But you get the point. Joe Biden recently made an announcement that he was going to start an investigation, just like Donald Trump said he was going to do last year. I listened to Biden. Sadly, I take it seriously because I don't hear from him 150 times a day. Whereas with Trump, boy cried wolf too often. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you. May you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that you and I will be careful with our words, not only recognizing the power they have in our lives, or the power they have over others, but recognizing that when they are used frivolously, the world will soon learn to tune us out. And that when the time comes for us to say something truly important, we won't be heard. Amen.